Hi, welcome back to Twins Talk Arse. You've got me, Andreas, here, and you've got my brother.
Anastasis, and we're going to talk to you about more Arsenal.
Yeah, we're coming to you just after the Arsenal Crystal Palace game, which wasn't a great watch, was it, Stas?
No, it was a pretty boring game all in all. Not too many chances created, especially from Arsenal.
This team are so hard for us to break down. I remember watching them when we had Unai Emery and Zaha got that last minute goal, and they just always seem to be this bogey team. And watching them today, it felt like punching a brick wall. Like we just couldn't get through their defense, and they're very well organized. But yeah, I felt like we were lacking something today. We were lacking some creativity today to really puncture their lines.
Yeah, I think that's probably the key point with Arsenal. I think at this moment in time, you saw in the game today, the expected goals in the first half was 0.06. Ultimately, we just didn't create enough chances in the game to win it. We never really troubled their keeper. We just didn't really do too much overall to win the game.
Yeah, I heard the commentators slating Arsenal a little bit. And although we did lack something connecting our forwards to our midfield, and also I think key players struggled, like Aubameyang had a poor game again. I think a lot of it came down to the fact that Crystal Palace were very well organised. It seems like, they were a very hard team for us to break down. They defended with their lives. And I kind of think it was more them playing well rather than us playing poorly, which saw us to a 0-0.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of both. I do agree. I think Crystal Palace are a very well drilled and well organised team, and I think they are definitely hard to break down. I know they had the 7-0 loss to Liverpool only a handful of games ago, but that wasn't a true reflection maybe of how good Crystal Palace can be defensively. I think overall they are a team that tends to give you a run for your money. They tend to be very organised defensively. But what I would say on the other hand, Arsenal at this moment in time, we missed Tierney. Aubameyang's not really on form. We didn't have enough to break them down. I think it's a bit of both. As good as they were, I do think Arsenal were quite poor today. Maybe it's coming off the back of 3 wins, and they are quite in quite close proximity. Maybe the players are a little bit tired. There's a bit of fatigue creeping in, maybe. But overall, it wasn't really a great performance from Arsenal. I don't know your thoughts overall on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you could tell the players were tired today when they were playing. And we had Mari not playing, we had Tierney not play, both because of muscle soreness. And I think you could kind of see that. And we were really looking to other players to kind of carry us through, like the return of Thomas Partey. He didn't really have much time to really influence the game though. But yeah, I think this was the first time that we looked tired, and Arteta's going to have a job picking us back up for the next few games. I think, again, Aubameyang looked poor, and it's starting to worry me. It got to the point that we took Lacazette off, and I was wondering why Aubameyang was still on the pitch, because Lacazette had done more. He's done more in the last few games. And I know he's our record signing. I mean, I know he's our highest paid player, and I know that he's our captain. But at the moment, does he justify a place in the team? I don't know. And then Pepe came on and also wasn't able to influence the game. These are big signings that Arsenal made, which currently can't make a real impact in the first team.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think it's tough. I mean, when you look at Aubameyang and he maybe didn't have a great start to the season. He scored against Fulham on the opening day, and then after that it didn't go as well for him as maybe he would have hoped. I fully appreciate you can go through a bad patch of form, but we've got to the halfway point of the season roughly now, and you kind of think we haven't seen it so far. When are we going to see it from Aubameyang? He signed the contract, which, don't get me wrong, at the time a lot of Arsenal fans would have been very happy about. He was our star player last season. There's no ifs or buts about that. But at the same time, I think, he's got that big contract now. He needs to show why he deserves to be on that salary and why he deserves to be paid that much. It is a big responsibility, but arguably something he signed up for with the new contract. So, it's on him to show what he's all about and ultimately to deliver when Arsenal need him.
Yeah. I mean, I struggle to not have faith with Abba. The way that he played last season, the way that he dragged us through, the kind of performances that he's put in consistently for clubs across Europe year after year. But this has got to be his hardest season so far. And with him being an aging player and getting further and further into his 30s, I want him to turn it around quickly. I don't want this to be the new normal for Abba. So I guess we'll see. But
Yeah.
I think at other points, Arsenal could have lost this game. There are definitely different points in this season and in previous seasons where we would have wilted. So I think we did well to kind of see the draw out. And if anything, we looked like we were going to score more than Crystal Palace did. So, it's not the best result, but it's a point. And we're still one more game undefeated, and we move on to the next game, I think.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think if you're going to take the positives out of the game, then 100%. I mean, as much as Arsenal fans, we want to, of course, win these types of games. We could have easily lost this game. Crystal Palace did have some very good chances where, on another day they could have capitalised on. The other thing as well, I guess we got to point out, Partey returned. So, I know he didn't start the game, but he still played 20 minutes, got that under his belt. Hopefully that's a start. Hopefully we'll see more against Newcastle. And then hopefully after that, we'll see more against Southampton and Man United because, they're going to be two very, very tough fixtures. But so hopefully, he can build up his match fitness. We can see more of him. Granit Xhaka had a fairly solid game, he made some very good interceptions, some very good tackles.
Yep.
And it's just a case of, I guess, for these players, kind of, can they do it on a consistent basis? They had a good game, don't get me wrong, it was great, but can they do it, against Newcastle next week, against Southampton and Man United after? Because we do have a talented squad, but we also have a very inconsistent squad. And I think that's kind of the main thing that pulls your hair out, so to speak, as an Arsenal fan. We have a squad that we know is capable of so much, but, can they deliver? And then can they deliver when it matters as well?
Do you think a result like this against Crystal Palace kind of represents where Arsenal are right now? To me, it kind of looks like two equally matched teams going punch for punch. And do you think we're kind of at the Crystal Palace level right now, as opposed to the Man United or Liverpool level?
Yeah, of course. I think at this moment in time we are. At this moment in time, I think, simply put, whether it's, the quality of the players isn't good enough or just the inconsistency, it's hard to say. At the beginning, it was just a bit of inconsistency, but now you're kind of looking at these players and, they're playing at a relatively lower level than what they were playing a few years ago, say. They're playing at a relatively lower level now. And it kind of, it's not just bad form at the moment. We've kind of reduced ourselves to this level. At this moment in time, we are more on Crystal Palace's level than, we are Liverpool, Man United's level. It shows in the performances. If we were on Man United's level, Liverpool's level, we would have won this game. Even without creating too many chances or whatever, even the way we played, if we were Man United or Liverpool or Man City, we would have got the result in the end. I think, the type of performance that we had today, it does kind of show where we are. We are kind of becoming like Wolves, arguably, where we're a team that maybe we're a bit better defensively, but we're struggling to score. And you can definitely tell. It's tough. Arsenal fans at the beginning of the season would have wanted us to be, more solid defensively, which I think we have achieved. So that's a bigger positive this season. But it has hindered us from an offensive point of view. I don't know your thoughts on that, if you agree or not, but that's just my own opinion.
Yeah, I think defensively we've improved a lot. We've come miles from where we were. I mean, I was a bit worried today when David Luiz took Pablo Mari's place. And I think it shows the kind of strength and depth that we have in that area now, that we've got, Rob Holding playing well, Pablo Mari playing well, Gabriel to come back into the team. Now David Luiz can slot straight back into the team and play very well as well. Behind them, you've got Mustafi, who is not an Arsenal fan favourite, but towards the end of last season, he was playing pretty well under Arteta. So, and then we've got William Saliba on loan as well. So defensively, we actually look all right. I think you're right. I think it's defensively that we are missing something, and I think you could really tell we were missing Kieran Tierney today. He is a big miss when he's not playing, and part of me thinks as well he's a very talented and skillful player, but part of it is just the amount of times that boy will run. He will run and run and keep running, and he gives everyone else around him energy. And I think Arsenal kind of missed that today. Getting into the final third, we didn't have anybody breaking through the lines, and I think we are kind of looking forward to him coming back in the next few games.
Yeah, totally. I think, especially now while we're in the middle of January and we've got the transfer window open, I think what I'd probably say is probably, if Arsenal were looking at any player or any, few players, I think really the positions that Arsenal kind of need to be looking at is, one is the left back position, which is we kind of need someone who's got that energy, that, drive and determination. They can run up and down that left flank, so that when Tierney is rested or injured or whatever it may be, we don't lose too much from our performances. Yeah. Because we did, by the looks of it today, we did lose a fair bit by him not playing. The other thing as well is, another creative mid. Emil Smith-Rowe, it didn't work out for him so much today. Through no fault of his own, he's had some great performances in the near past, against Chelsea, against Brighton, etc. He has played well. It didn't work out for him today. At the end of the day, he's a young player. He's not going to be consistent every game. But I think it's these types of performances where when he doesn't have a good game, there's no one there to step up. And I kind of think that, it's these types of games, if we had another creative player on the bench that we could bring on, maybe it would help to unlock this Crystal Palace team. At the end of the day, they put 11 men behind the ball and basically, defend and aim to counter when they get a chance. In these instances, we need players that can, penetrate the lines and can ultimately create chances. If we don't create the chances, how are we going to score?
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to tell today that we had, say, 100 million worth of attacking talent on the pitch today. I think Arteta's got a job to do, bringing that kind of spark out of Arsenal's offense while keeping us still defensively rigid. I think it will come, but I think it's going to take time. And I think players like Pepe aren't going to become world beaters in a month or two. He really needs time to settle into the squad, have a manager that loves him and trusts him to start performing. So I guess we'll see. We move on to the next game.
Yeah, of course. On to the next game. Hopefully we get a good win.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for listening to us, guys. If you want to comment, like, and subscribe, we would absolutely love that. And I guess we will see you after the next Arsenal game.